Oh, well, hey everybody! Welcome to the show, Andy. How you doing?
I'm doing good, thanks. How are you?
Oh, living the dream, living the dream. It's been a hell of a week,
hasn't it? Yeah, and remember when we used to be called the Lockdown Show?
Yeah.
Well, one of us is locked down again.
Yeah. What's going on in California these days, Andy?
Now we have a stay-at-home order, so safer at home. I think it's called stay at home, safer. I don't know. It's all very confusing.
Back to the basics. Well, of course, folks, welcome to the show. We have a huge show. We got several dozens of people waiting in the green room, ready to come out and talk about the picture perfect holiday experience on Curryford Road. But first, before we get into that, Andy, we launched the TETV network. How does it feel to be a week in on this? This is our week anniversary.
It's thrilling and exciting, and everyone has just been doing an amazing job, and it's amazing. I'm so pleased at the reaction we've been getting all across the socials and people reaching out, and it's been great.
Yeah, so folks, if you're watching now, make sure you like and subscribe. Follow us on YouTube, subscribe, Twitters, all those kind of things. We'll send the link. Make sure you go ahead and do that. So very important. So Andy, couple things. So that was it was a great launch. On the other side of things, had a question, or I wanted to talk about the Imagithon challenge. So there's this thing that's happened that we've been doing. We've been working on it, and it's been a whole portfolio project. And we're having a showcase. There we go. The YouTube was not showing how many viewers are watching, so I was very confused, but now it is. Okay. Welcome, everybody. The Imagithon challenge is having a showcase on Wednesday, December 16th at 10 a.m. Pacific to 1 p.m. Eastern. We're going to go ahead and share the link to that in the feed. But you know what? It so happens that we have several people that are actually a part of that project right here in the wings. And I wanted to have them have a chance to talk about it, what their experience has been like. So let's go ahead and bring on Rachel first. Rachel, producer of the show and all that good stuff. Come on the show, Rachel. That's you, CJ, if you want to cue her on. There we go.
Hello.
So
Hi,
Rachel.
Hey, Rachel.
How's been your experience with the Imagithon Showcase? Want to give it a little plug?
Yeah, so the Imagithon Showcase, it's a project we've been working on, well, about 40 of us have been working on for the past several months now, and I'm one of the producers in this side project, along with CJ, who's also the other producer on the show, and we've been reimagining the concept of a theme park where Six Flags New Orleans used to be, so that's a big empty space. We've been, CJ and I specifically have been working on, there's two parks in this project. We've been working on the supernatural folklore-based park, and we're exploring some Cajun, Creole, and Louisiana myths and legends that haven't been covered in mainstream media. So not this coming Wednesday, but next Wednesday, December 16th at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, you can tune in and watch us give our final presentation for that. So it's really exciting to get all that work together.
That's great. Thanks, Rachel. CJ, how's your experience been with it? Anything you want to add to that?
I would just say for me, it's been a great experience with so many coaches providing invaluable feedback and kind of guidance. I've gone through this process with so many other young, talented people who are trying to get into the industry and have so much passion that I think is really shown in the work. And there's a lot of really cool things that are going to be shown next Wednesday on the showcase. So you should definitely be there to see this cool project.
Thanks, CJ. Xavier, you didn't know you were going to come on, but you're also a part of it. You're one of the coach mentors of the project. What do you have to say about it?
Yeah, so I am a coach and then a mentor of the graphic design. people that are coming in. It's been a great time working with these young collaborators. They have a lot of potential coming up, so I hope you guys can all join us in seeing their work.
All right, thanks, Xavier. We'll put you back in the green room. Well, thanks, Rachel, and thank you, CJ, for talking about that. Once again, folks, we just sent the link in the comment section. We'll update the YouTube link, but basically, it's a very lengthy Eventbrite, but it is happening. It is free. Anybody can sign up for the showcase. It's going to run about 2 hours long. Come for as long as you want. It's going to take over a place during Zoom. Sign up on Eventbrite. They're going to be pitching their projects, and then we're going to have industry veterans actually give some feedback on them. So you can come watch that process. It's going to be exciting. Great. Well, thanks, CJ, and thanks for Rachel. Let's go ahead and back onto the show. So, Andy, you've been a part of that project too. What are your thoughts about that? You've actually seen a lot of things happen. Step, and then you were actually watched the last Imaginathon Challenge Blue Sky pitch. What was your reaction to that when you first saw the Blue Sky one that we did?
It's really impressive. I mean, the work that all these young people are doing is really it's really impressive, and it's so fun to be a part of a process of where people are learning a lot about the process and each other and working together and collaborating and being part of a team. It's it's really exciting. And I'm looking forward to the concept showcase showdown.
Showcase showdown. Cool. Well, so we have a little bit of a treat. So we know that the Slice Creative Network. Sorry, my dog was whining. I wanted to say hello. This is King Louie, everybody. King Louie. Melody Matheny is in the crowd in the green room, and she's actually putting together a show for TETV. And I wanted to give them a chance to kind of talk about where they're going with it. Melody, welcome to the show. There you go. Hello.
Hey, Melody. Oh, you're muted.
You're muted, and I don't know. There you go.
I did that thing. Hi, I'm Melody Matheny. Nice to see you all. So yeah, you want me to just go for it, Patrick?
Yeah. What are you working on? What's in the cooks for the Slice Creative Network TETV show? Yeah.
So the TETV show that we're working on is all about the freelancers and highlighting freelance talent. Every month, I believe we have it set, but we're trying to work it on a faster timeline, right, Patrick? So we're still talking about that. But basically, we want to highlight all the amazing freelance talent in the theme park industry and give them a chance to show off their stuff and have a little fun while we're at it.
There we go. Love it. Well, you've been up to a lot of fun over the past several months. Yeah. Speaking of big group projects that are all over Zoom calls and all that good stuff, we have a picture perfect holiday. Let's bring on the team. Want to give us a little bit of an explanation?
Sure. So Picture Perfect Holidays is a free community event that our theme park industry designers are putting together for the Curry Ford West area of Orlando, and it opens on Saturday. We have over 40 theme park designers who are working on the project, all local. And we have 3 producers for the event, and they're with us now. So I'll introduce them. There's Xavier Treto. There's Ben Adams, and there's Colt Sammons. And we also have the director of Curry Ford West with us tonight, and this is Alexis Sammons. So welcome to the show, guys.
Welcome, everybody.
Thank you. Excited to be here.
Yeah.
I'm excited to learn more about this awesome project.
Thanks. We put together a whole big presentation for you tonight. So if we want to start running through that, we can get through it and start explaining everything to you.
Sure. CJ in the booth, you got the presentation ready? All right. And Xavier, I think we're getting a little feedback, so if you don't mind just muting yourself if you're not talking, please.
All right. Keep it rolling for us, CJ. So this is the Picture Perfect Holidays. Curry Ford West is hosting us. And of course, Slice Creative Network designers are producing the event. Go ahead, CJ. Is he having trouble? There we go. Okay. So Alexis and I wanted to tell our story about like how we came up with this event. And if you want to keep going, CJ, it's fine. So I want to talk about Slice first, about who we are. So we are an online network of creative theme park designers and writers and lighting designers and project managers and all sorts of creatives. And we have about 275, 280 members all over the United States. And so we have existed for about 10 years. And we're a great community together, and we love each other, and we love to support each other. And we're all like friendly and friends with each other. And it's a nice little home for us of our peers. And so anyway, all of
Hold on, Melody, before you move on.
Yeah.
I want to just let everybody know that like I owe my Orlando career start to Slice Creative Networking, the speed networking event that you do every year. It happened to be a month after I got to Orlando, and I met all these people. So really appreciate what you do. You're really quite a force in the industry, and we're really grateful for all the work that you do.
Oh, well, thank you so much, Patrick. I'm so glad you're one of the great success stories we've had, and we've had a lot of them, which is so wonderful. CJ, go ahead. Is he there? Okay, yes. So all of a sudden, this is my great slide. You like it? So all of a sudden, of course, COVID hit, and the theme park industry, got ripped to shreds. And in terms of like our design community, and everyone started losing their jobs and being laid off. And of course, it's really impacted our industry exponentially. And as these people started to get laid off, they all started coming to Slice and saying, we really want to work together and create something beautiful. And at first we started talking about like almost like your Imagithon challenge, Patrick, of like, oh, can we invent a land together? Can we come up with something creative to do together to keep us busy, keep us sharp, and keep us connected? And I said, well, let's do something a little more realistic, and like, let's use our efforts to make a real event. Why not, right? Let's do something for our community. Our whole community is suffering, so let's do something for them. So they said, awesome, let's do it. And that's when I called Alexis. If you'll go ahead, CJ. Yes. So I called Alexis. I've known her for several years. She's married to Colt Sammons, who's on the call as well. And Colt's, of course, a great attraction designer in the industry, and he worked at Universal Creative for a while. And so I knew that Alexis was working with the city, and she's also a historian. And I asked her, what do you think we should do for the community? What kind of ideas do you have? And she said, I have the perfect thing. She said, I'm trying to do some great holiday event for my community. Alexis, you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. So basically, everyone in this community has been hit hard by COVID-19. And I kind of knew back in July when all these layoffs were happening that this was something that was going to be really impacting our community over the next few months. It wasn't going to disappear. And I really wanted to provide something to the community, knowing that this was a difficult year to so many people. I wanted to provide something that brought them joy and brought them light. And I had in my head, how can we keep things COVID conscious, right? How can we stay safe and still make people feel connected? And so one of the things I had in mind was this, backdrop. And I wanted them kind of sporadically placed around the main street. And honestly, what was delivered was so much greater than I could have ever dreamed, because I was thinking like this, a kind of a basic holiday backdrop, and then maybe like a prop, kind of Gatorland-esque, right? Where you put your head in the big gator, or, and I guess I wanted it to not just be a gift for my community, but having been in the theme park, or I guess a family member of the theme park industry, this year was challenging in so many ways, and not just for theme park designers, but for all the artists in the area. I mean, it has been a very difficult. And so we wanted to try to find a way where people could get portfolio pieces and they could stretch themselves a little bit, where they weren't limited by intellectual property laws and non-disclosures. And so this was something that was not just, an absolute blessing to the community, but was really a way to also bolster some portfolios.
Absolutely. That's really important to all of us designers, or most of our work, as you mentioned, is under non-disclosure agreements, and it's difficult to showcase your talents when you have so many restrictions. So even providing some of these smaller projects, it allows people to at least discuss with their potential employers what they're capable of.
You say smaller project because this is, it's really funny. I brought in a few of my board members today into the workshop, right? Uh-huh. And what they had in mind versus what reality is, they were like, we did not think it would be this grand, were their words. Because they were thinking, simple backdrops and photo props, and then they're seeing all of the colorful pieces scattered around currently the floor as puzzle piece them together. And they were just like, they were blown away. They were blown away. So you say it's a project, but for us, it's huge. So
that's wonderful.
So what is Curry Ford West?
Yeah, thank you for asking. So Curry Ford West is the newest Main Street program that is part of the Orlando Main Streets. There are 10 of them total. You probably heard of Church Street District, which is now the City District, Audubon Park, Milk District. All of these cool little, subsets of our community have been given little Main Street names, and they all have their own personalities. And so Curry Ford West has been around for about 2 years, but really became a lot more active in the last year and a half. And we've been trying to promote small business growth, create community connections, and really, help establish more solid design of the areas. We do things like installing banners and new bus route covers, right? Things that make the area a little bit nicer to live in. But then we also focus heavily on small business and how do we best promote them. So during COVID-19, my role was really, how do I make sure that these businesses are making it through all of this? And so some of that was helping connect them with online platforms so they could do digital, sales. And some of it was helping them go through the PPP loan process, or the EIDL loan process. So it's been a little bit different, but as a Main Street, our whole goal is encouraging small business growth and infiltrating a new sense of community.
Gotcha. That's great.
Yeah, so we're hoping this project is going to drive a lot of traffic their way, and they can make a few extra bucks, eh?
Yeah, that's another aspect, is we are not viewed as being the most walkable Main Street, but we have a lot of walking shops, a lot of people that will walk from a bar to a restaurant to, the antique store down the street. And so this is just showing people that everything that exists within a half-mile radius, pretty much.
Gotcha.
Yep.
So there it is. Boom.
So yeah, so basically it's, as we've been mentioning, it's basically 5 photo op areas, and they're spread down this Curry Ford Road in a walkable path. And each photo op has a different theme. So we have, of course, the 5 themes. We have a cosmic Christmas crash, and we're going to hear more about these in just a second from the producers. But we have a cosmic Christmas crash. We have Christmas song stroll. We have Feliz Navidad. We have Melekalikimaka, which is a Polynesian theme. And then we have Winter Wonderland. So let's bring on our producers. We have 3 producers. Ben Adams is the producer for teams 1 and 2, which is Cosmic Christmas and Christmas Song Stroll. Xavier Treto is the producer for Feliz Navidad and Mele-Kalikimaka, and Colt is the producer for the Winter Wonderland.
Welcome back.
Yeah. So guys, I wanted to kind of I wanted you to tell the story of each of your scenes, so if you could give them a brief description of what your scene is about, that'd be great. Let's run through them.
Okay,
Ben,
good.
first.
I've been with Team 1. So Cosmic Christmas Crash is on the outer rim of Corey Ford West. So we thought, well, that's a great idea to bring in some 1950s space age aliens. So they're not just aliens, they're holodalians. And they crashed into the Curry Ford area, but they didn't really crash. They just it was just bad parking. So it was a nice little skid coming into the road. So the spaceship is still intact, and they have their spaceship full of all of their creative Christmas traditions and things. So they kind of decorate their area with the things that are Christmas for them. And then they try to integrate some of the Christmas traditions on Earth into theirs, and they don't get it quite right, but they end up having a great time anyway. So there's a family of aliens, and they've got their tree decorated in a retro 50s style with a nice background, and they're huge record fans. They're huge vinyl fans. So there's some great vinyls up there with some great titles on there. So it's really a really great photo opportunity for folks to go behind the spaceship and take a picture there and go around the tree. So we've had a lot of fun. The team I'm working with on this is just some great theme park designers and project managers. They've just done some amazing work, and I really got to enjoy getting to know them and developing a cohesive team. It's just been really a great process. So looking forward to getting to see this coming up this week. So we've got Abby Sennheiser as my project manager and creative director, and Grace Parada is our writer. Levi Keese is a great builder and designer, set designer. Cole Cox and Mike Artwell are great graphic artists and some marketing writers. And this is just a really cohesive team that gelled together really quickly. And I was just thrilled to have these people on my team and to lead them with this project. So it's really great.
So I have a question for you. TJ, go back to the concept. If you go back one slide. So what made you think to even come up with this idea? What were kind of how did the brainstorm go? How did that all kind of come out?
Well, we were tasked with coming up with an idea, and when Alexis said, you're kind of on the outer rim of Curry Ford, we're like, well, that's kind of cool. The outer rim makes you think of space, and then we were kind of thinking it'd be cool to go with that 1950s retro theme, and so the brainstorming came out of that to develop these venues, these elements in our venue. That's
great, awesome.
Yeah.
And so then we can move on to. We can move on to Team 2 if you want and look at Christmas Song Stroll. That's our next one. This is just some pictures of in the making. And here we are at Christmas Song Stroll. So I can tell you the impetus for this. You can see over there on the left, we have a piano down there. And on Curry Ford, there's been this legend that's come around. It's the Curry Ford piano. And it's been there for years. And they decorate it every year. And I went down to the location to take a look at it, and the piano had completely fallen apart, and they'd hauled it away. And I was like, well, what are we going to do? We have to make it about the piano. And so I went over to the landscaper, and I said, hey, what happened to the piano? He's like, well, we got rid of it. And I said, well, we're bringing the piano back. He's like, what? You're bringing the piano back? You're bringing back the Curry Ford piano? I'm like, oh. This is an icon that we need to explore. So from that piano, we created the Christmas Song Stroll. So each of the elements in that represent a song that you can remember. So you got some frosted window panes there on the scene, and we've got a huge State Farm truck. State Farm is our sponsor, and so we have some different song elements in each of the things we see in the area here. So we also have some mischievous elves that are in the scene that you can see there. And so it's going to be an exciting event. We'll have music coming from the piano. And I think after we're done, we're going to leave the piano there and let it start to build its own story and its own legacy. And they'll decorate it throughout the year.
Wow, that's great. And then
And this
go
photo is only about halfway done, by the way.
Yeah.
This was a pre-run setup.
Gotcha. Well, what was the team that helped make this come to life?
So this was our second team. This is so Grace joining us as a writer on this one, and Bill Keevy is our project manager, and he's done a lot of dark rides and a lot of ride design. He's an amazing designer. Zoe is our production lead, Zoe Perlo, and she's just been fabulous with our marketing and with a lot of design elements. And then Mia and Alex have just been great with our initial concepting and our design and our writing and our marketing. And it's just been a really great team. They've all pitched in to really help out with all the fabrication elements as well. So again, another great team that I've just really enjoyed. Now Alex is not in Orlando. She's in where is she at, Melody? Is she in
Maryland?
Maryland? Yeah.
Yeah.
She joins us virtually all the time, but we're able to catch up on Slack. So you can see some of our design elements here. Some of the things we did, put it together, found a fireplace on Facebook Marketplace, pulled that in, stretched out some vinyl to make the wallpaper look real and look pretty. And then a little bit of faux brick to make that fireplace look really good. So it's been a fun project. And you see the truck down there. We have a great scenic painter from South Florida that came up and helped us make that nice State Farm truck with the tree on the back. So that's going to be a flat that people can look through and take a picture with. So it's been a great project.
Rebecca Pancoast, hello.
Woo! Yeah, she's amazing. Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. All right, let's go on to team 3. Xavier, can you tell us about Feliz Navidad?
Yeah, so my team 3 is we did Feliz Navidad, and basically you guys are all welcome to the town of San Jose, where you could come and visit the Casa de los Iglesias. And here at this house, you get to not only see how Mexico celebrates Christmas, but well as other Latin American countries, because in the Casa de los Iglesias, they invited their family members from all over Latin America to help them celebrate the holidays and Los Posadas. So you see little gifts from around the world, as well as decorated trees and poinsettias, which is a very festive flower that Mexico uses for their holidays, as well as family pictures and posters and all that stuff from the town. So it's been a blast coming up with this whole scene right here. And for me, it's more of a cultural thing. I am Mexican. I come from a Mexican family, so a lot of the stuff that's in here is usually derived from my childhood or from stories I heard from my grandparents. It was really fun to make. My team is an amazing team. Starting off with Jared Wells, he's our amazing writer. Ken Sutton is our project manager. Taylor helped us out with our concepts. Alyssa is a great up-and-coming graphic designer. And Katarina Blumstein is a great production designer. But with the help of everybody on this team, we got to develop and make this scene. So I hope you guys will all enjoy it when it, opens up next week.
That's great. And then you have some making of slides. There we go. Making of.
Making up. So we have right here is Ken Sutton and myself designing, just putting together the Iglesias home, doing some carpentry work. Basically, anything I learned growing up with my grandfather, helping him, build stuff at home, I kind of transferred to here. So it's doing all that. Then, we have, Caroline Teves over at the bottom, just doing some scenic painting for us because, that's something I can't do, but she does it very well. And, it's pretty good. Yeah.
That's great.
You guys are a lot farther on this than these pictures show now. You guys
we're practically almost done with it.
Yeah.
And then I'll talk about my other team for Mele Kalikimaka. So this wonderful concept art is also done by Tyler. It shows basically a nice Hawaiian, Polynesian, holiday gathering where we're bringing a lot of, custom made pieces, and then we're bringing in a lot of culture from the Polynesian islands into this, trying to treat it with a very authentic style and very, just colorful, bright, and then our amazing production designers, Pana and Cam, Aggressor, who developed and designed all these things that we can build. They've done a really fantastic job, and I can't wait for you guys to see this, but it's going to be amazing. The music, the lighting for this piece is going to be outstanding, and hopefully everybody will enjoy it, be a little bit more festive, and hopefully you guys will want to go out for tiki drinks after this. But again, our writer is Wells. Anne Murillo is an amazing project manager. Without her, I don't think this what we could have done for Mele Kalikimaka could have been done. Cameron Field assisting her in that. He did an amazing job. Tyler Bird, amazing again with the concepts. And Pana and Cam Aggressor, amazing production designers who are really good and really talented.
That's great.
And then we got this amazing donation from the Shakespeare Theater in Orlando, their tikis. And when Melody called me at 8 or 9 or 10 or whatever in the morning with some exciting news, I couldn't believe it. They came in, they were basically home, then we just painted them, and we're further along, so they actually look like wooden and stone tikis, and it's crazy how the community will come together and start pulling things from everywhere, and then our sets are being born.
Yeah, that was a really random thing. I had made a post on Facebook, and this guy calls me and was like, "Hey, I have these tikis. Do you guys want them?" We're like, "What? Yes." That was a great find. So thanks to Jeff Ferry for those. All right, you guys want to go on to scene 5, to Winter Wonderland? Sorry, I'm used to using the code words. But go ahead, Cole. This is all yours.
All right, hi guys. So yeah, this is Team 5, Winter Wonderland. So Orlando has an unexpected cold front that has come in. And so for us, it's basically making this entire magical thing that does not exist anywhere in Orlando, or naturally, for sure. And so for us, it's making this as if you were taking the song Walking in a Winter Wonderland and actually walking in a Winter Wonderland. So we're taking Mr. Snowman and taking those elements and then also making it our own. So we've added penguins into this and an igloo and deer, and just trying to make a natural forest of winter. And so the site in particular, we're at a funeral home, but we're calling it Colonial Chapel, because we're a little ways away from it, but we have some amazing trees and a really cool space that is really like letting us do whatever we want. And so these mountains are huge. We have a huge backdrop. It's 40 foot by 10.
Wow.
And so it's huge. And so we're currently in the middle of painting that. We've had Carolyn Teves and Rebecca Pancoat have been helping do that. It's a multi-day process of the backdrop. And so I have an excellent team here. Ashley Zirkle, who is our writer, she's adapted our writing as we find elements and as we change elements. We've had some issues with some snowman, and I'll get to that in a minute. But she's erased it and brought it back and said, "Snowman, he's staying." And Alex Mesa is our project manager. Marcel Santos, he did the concept art that you just saw. Beautiful job. He's also been adaptive with us as well. And then we have the production team here with Chase Foray, Ellen Durnell, Nikki Sutterby, and Olivia Knight. And so these guys have just been great. A lot of them come from a coordination background, and it's learning the construction, the design process and the construction process. For me, it's learning the writing process and the project management side of it. And so it's been a learning adventure for all of us, and it's been a lot of fun. And as far as collecting some of these elements, those have been tricky. So yeah, you can see right here the picture of the deer. And so we had these cut out and painting these deer and assembling all these things together. You can see the photo right here where trimming some of the trees. So the site, we had to trim some of the trees in order to get the trees for our space. And so it's really, really coming together. A fun thing, our snowman, we were having a difficult time with that one. And Alexis actually was driving home, I think it was 2 days ago. And one of our neighbors had a snowman out front of their house. And she goes, "Give our neighbor a call." And so I stopped by and like, "Hey, can I have your snowman?" And I guess his name is Wes Anderson, is this name that they've chosen for him. And they found him in the trash. And there's a video on TikTok of like them taking him, and the wife was like, no, or she wanted it and he didn't want it, and he goes, how am I going to get it? And then they look to their left and there's a dolly right there, and it's just like, this is meant to be. And so they wheeled the dolly, and then we came and grabbed them, and they weren't home, so I felt like I was stealing it, like another person taking this thing to another adventure. But they have loaned him to us, and he will be on full display. So not melting, doing great. So we're refinishing him, and he's looking really, really good.
So
But,
Colt, sorry, go ahead.
a lot of fun.
Colt, is this the biggest display there is? This big, you said 40 by 10, a mountain range, all the 9 yards. Is this the largest one?
They're all very large. This one we have a backdrop that makes it a different scale in a different way. So we have some large items, but a lot of the other ones, they're against walls, and ours is out in the open. And so we had to create a backdrop, and we really, because there's green trees everywhere around us, we had to basically isolate a winter wonderland in Florida. So trying to create a backdrop for that was it's a big piece. But a lot of the other teams, they have a lot of intricate pieces that are very like awesome to go see, and like these tikis and just everything. It's really, really cool to see all the work coming together. But yeah, ours is just big pieces.
Yeah, yours is definitely the biggest, Colt. But as you can see, guys, this has been a really unique experience, I think, for all of us on the team, because we can take everything from the very beginning, from the napkin sketch phase and doing concept renderings all the way through to production files, and actually like being responsible for hiring the vendors and going through that production process with any vendors. But we only have a couple of vendors because most of our teams wanted to make the things themselves with their hands. And we were like, yes, this is your project, and you can take it however far you want to. And so you can see that the majority of the team decided to go through and make everything with their bare hands. But it really proves to you like how resourceful they are, what great problem solvers they are, and all the different ways you can solve these problems. And it's been really, really enlightening, I think, for all of us to be involved in all these different aspects of a project. Where typically in a theme park project, you're only involved in one area of the project, generally speaking, unless you're a producer or whatever. So as designers, we're only like stuck in our little hole, and we do this part and then we pass it along. But in this, we get to do every part.
Well, and speaking of every part, it kind of comes to mind of there's a lot that has to go into this that is not represented by the team that actually built it, right? You must have audio teams and lighting designers and things like that.
We have. Yeah, I would love to share their information. Great. Yes, we have an amazing lighting design team led by Scott Hennessy. And we also have Steve Aldrich and Mike Engel. And Scott and team have really been helping us figure all of that out, put together a whole plan for us, figure out how to install it, everything from soup to nuts, which is great. And Joe Fox is helping us with audio. Everybody knows Joe. Yeah. And he's so giving and such a sweet person. And he's helping us figure that out now, which is going great. We also have a costuming and fabric consultant. We have two, actually. There's one not on here. John Dunnett and Taylor Johnson. And they've helped us with a variety of fabric things, particularly with the Melikaliki moccasin, fabric choices and things like that. So, and then we also have a talent coordinator who's Cheryl Cox. And she is helping to coordinate all of the live entertainment that's happening throughout our run. And we have like lots of little sweet, like, pop-up entertainment groups coming. Like we have a great flute duet, we have some singers, we have some dancers, and she's helping to coordinate all those things for us. So it's been great. And I think there's a couple more slides with some more people on here, right?
Here we go.
Oh my gosh. John Carmine is my marketing director, and I could not do this without him. He is integral to this process, and he came up with our logo. He's doing all of our social media, banners, advertisements, like everything you can imagine, he's on it. And he's also like volunteering. That's him on the picture painting the tiki there. He's also volunteering so much of his time, and I just wanted to thank him publicly. Thank you, John. Ignacio as well. Ignacio Alfonso donated a lot of his time to developing our logos for each scene, as well as a very intricate and super fun background for the Cosmic Christmas Crash scene. So when you go out there, make sure to like go up close to the backdrop of the Cosmic Christmas area and check out all the super cute like puns and details that he put into the graphic, because it's really lots of fun. We also have Olivia Knight and Juan Carlos Santizo, who are doing a lot of great work for us as well, and scenic artists who are just really, we couldn't do it without them either. Carolyn Tevis, I'm not sure how she says it. Alex Trom, who's like owning our spaceship. She's doing a great job on that. Rebecca Pankos, who we mentioned before, who came up from West Palm Beach to help us. And Jeff Ferry, who helped us with the tikis, as well as a lot of scenic carpentry work. So I just wanted to thank them all very much. They're very much part of our team, even though they're not represented in our 5 teams. They're part of the overall process.
And I'm sure there's more. Right, CJ?
Probably.
Yeah, there we go. Or the elf fabrication.
This is my elf fabrication department, which is my children and my husband.
Yeah.
So I put them all to work around the house. So my husband graciously cut out all of our elves for us, and my children were helping me sand and paint, and I'm teaching them young, folks. So yeah, that's them. They had a great time. What's our next slide?
So I mean, I think the question is, this is quite a lot of work to do in a Zoom world, right? So, and I know we talked pretty early on, and we connected you with Morgan and all that about just how to handle this craziness. Do you want to touch on that a little bit? How was it creating an entire project like this, soup to nuts in a Zoom world?
Yeah, I mean, for me personally, I thought it was fine. I mean, it was different doing everything by Zoom and not meeting up personally. I mean, we did have to have on-site visits periodically with a variety of people, our lighting team and whoever, and just, analyzing the actual site locations and stuff. But working on Zoom with the whole team, I felt worked pretty smoothly. I know I've heard from a lot of other team members who just prefer to be in person, and you can kind of have a rapport with each other that you don't quite have on Zoom, so they kind of preferred that. So I guess it's really personal preference. I thought it worked out great, and we accomplished everything we wanted to on time, and everyone seems fairly happy about it. The event's happening, so I think it worked out pretty well, and maybe the producers have something to say about that. But anyway, yes, it was lots of text calls, emails, Zoom, and of course, anytime we were in person, we're very, very COVID conscious as a group, and so we're very careful around each other, and everyone's always masked, and we stay 6 feet apart at all times possible, unless we're like holding things together.
Sure. Well, I mean, this is a pretty, and I have a lot of questions for everybody. We'll do that towards the end after your presentation. But this looks like a lot of money, and not even including the volunteer hours and all that. I mean, you're fabricating things. I know it looks like some parts were scrappy, but there's some serious show sets design that's going on there. Who are your sponsors and partners?
Yeah, Alexis, do you want to talk about money and sponsors?
You're just
on mute. Haha, she did it too. I'm not alone.
Yeah, I always like talking about money. No problem. So, this is a little bit from my development background. Part of the thing that I do is I fundraise. And so we are incredibly proud to have Orlando Regional Medical Center as our presenting sponsor of this whole project. They have been awesome. They're actually, I'm going to pick up a whole bunch of hand sanitizer stations from them so that we can keep everyone safe and optics remain positive. We also had a lot of support from the city of Orlando. Because I'm associated with them, we had some beautification funds, which can go toward, improving sidewalks, or it can go toward holiday decorations. Some people use them toward planters. And so we found that we had a good use for it to provide joy. And so we use them as well. And then State Farm was absolutely pivotal to a lot of the things that we were doing, specifically the Justin Bach Night State Farm right there on Curry Ford Road. We even at one point got into their national magazine, which is, kind of just a fun thing to know that this project is nationwide as well. And I actually also made sure that we worked with United Arts of Central Florida. They are helping fund some of the performances that are going to happen by the more professional artists that are part of a whole organization. So Central Florida Community Arts is coming out. We're working with Flamenco del Sol, and then a few other arts organizations. And then we got a lot of support also from the theme park industry with in-kind donations, like B. Morrow Productions, Gandam, Alcorn McBride, Sesco, AOA. I mean, we honestly, this has been a huge community effort, not just like, oh, let's bring the money in, but it has also been a lot of in-kind support, a lot of in-kind sponsorship. And then I can't forget Alicia Spears Realty, who is a realtor here in Curry Ford as well. But just honestly, it's kind of funny. I gave a budget that when I thought that the project was a backdrop and some small prop, I was like, oh, this budget is more than enough. And the dream got a lot bigger and the budget did not. So it was a lot of using our heads and using our connections to try to figure out how we could put something together that, Melody, I think at one point you said we were quoted at how much to fabricate things?
God, $60,000. But that was like definitely the way highest bit. It was crazy. And we were like, what? Anyway, but no, I think we did a great job. We actually met our budget requirements. Even with the new concepts that we have, we figured out how to meet our budget, which was very well. Impressive. And I don't know if you want to share that budget, Alexis, or not, but
yeah, I mean, sure. So we're a small nonprofit. So when I was like, oh, well, we'll do a backdrop and like a little prop, how does $1,500 per group work? And Melody was like, yeah, I think we could do that. And then the dreams were really big when concept art came. And I think it was a really great experience all around for the designers, because a lot of them had not really, from what I've heard, is a lot of them had not been through the budgeting process, the design process, making sure that your design matches your budget, and not have to compromise too much. So there were, I'm sure, some difficult moments of figuring out what we could cut and what we could try to supplement for, and who we knew could maybe give us that connection. But overall, I was so impressed with how far our budget stretched. And I mean, I think maybe we went a little bit over, but we also got additional funders. And so we also didn't plan for additional signage and all the other things that are involved in an event, when I was dreaming a lot smaller than the designers were able to deliver. So
yeah, we've accomplished this event under $10,000.
That's amazing.
We haven't done the final tally, but it's under $10,000. And I think that just proves how great the designers have been at being resourceful and figuring out what are the main pieces they need to tell their story, and how can they accomplish that visual in as little money as possible,
Mhm.
which is a great exercise for a designer. And I think they all did fantastic jobs. I can't believe we came in and got everything we wanted in every scene with $1,500 per team.
Mhm.
That's amazing. I'm sure that you already have your eye on next year. Even bigger and better now that you've gotten way more than you ever bargained for.
I mean, I know that we're like, from my board's perspective, I know that we've talked about how we would love to continue this as a tradition, build upon the awesome sets that were made this year, and maybe add one a year, and not all 5 at once.
And animatronics and
If anyone wants to donate some, sure. I also wanted to give a really quick shout out to the volunteers, because I think as much as it costs for materials, labor and time is so much more valuable.
Yeah.
And when I did a rough estimate of maybe 6 hours a week per designer, some weeks were slower, some weeks have been a lot more impressive in time consumption, but it was over 5,000 hours of volunteer time. And that's incredible, especially when you think that each designer has a value. I mean, I'm just blown away by the generosity.
Yeah. And I think
go ahead.
Sorry, I was just going to say, I really think that speaks to who our group from Slice is and what we're about in our organization, as well as the theme park community at large. It's just so overwhelming to know that each of you guys out there, I'm sure you're watching this, each of you volunteers out there who've donated your time and efforts to this. I just wanted to say thank you so much. And, it's beautiful that you've all come together to do this out of your heart and love for the community with your bare hands and no money. Like, that's absolutely impressive. And I know exactly who I want to work with in the future now. So thank you all.
I can't wait to see this take over my social media feed next week.
I'm sorry in advance.
No, I can't wait to see pictures of it all, like for real, and people enjoying it, and it's going to be great.
Yeah, hope so. We're very excited.
I'm very excited.
So before we kind of get into maybe a little more questions, for those in the audience that are in Orlando and want to learn more about this, just to go to the website, see where it is. We're going to go ahead and put the link in the chat, so you can go check it out. Don't get too distracted from the show, but you can go check it out. And it runs December 12th to the 27th. You're not doing the full theme park mid-January thing.
No, well, also this is outside on a street. So This is very different than the theme park environment. So we wanted to take that into account. And we also wanted to take our schedules into account as volunteers. So we shortened it to 15 days, to the 15-day run. It's 3 weekends, essentially.
Gotcha. Well, why don't we, unless you had a closing statement, we can bring everybody on and just have some questions. I have some questions. I'm sure Andy has some. And I'm sure if any audience members have questions, go ahead and type them in. And we'll get to the right people.
I would love to bring the producers on, and I have a question for them.
Okay.
All right. There's Colt. Hi, Colt.
Hey.
Hi. Hey, Xavier. I'm sure they're tired of looking at me by now.
There we go.
Hey, Ben. There you are. So, guys, I wanted to ask you, what have you gotten out of this project personally? You guys have put in so much time and effort and been in your producer roles. And I know for some of you, it's your first time producing something. And I just wanted to ask you how your experience has been and what kind of value you've gotten from the event. Anyone's first.
I'll start. For me, Melody, I've just enjoyed the process. I've enjoyed learning about, especially the theme park design process, how specifically we've gone to that, and I really enjoyed going each of those steps. Something we mentioned in the budget I thought the refinement elements that we had to go back to meet that budget was really important because it helped us as a creative team really refine our story and really said, this matters and this doesn't matter. This tells the story better and this doesn't. And that refinement process is really vital. And so I enjoyed seeing that. I enjoyed seeing the creative confidence built in my team from the day we met to where we are now. I love the energy that they have with sharing their ideas freely. And I loved also how seeing team members take different roles, take on saying, yeah, I think I can do that. I think I can creative direct a little bit, you know? So it was fun for me as a producer to just, these people I had just met, see them develop and take lead roles creatively. That was really special.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's another good point about this event was we really wanted all of our volunteers to get whatever they wanted out of it. So a couple of people like switched roles in the middle just to make their experience more valuable to them, which was great. Xavier, Colt, do you guys have anything you want to say about the kind of value you got from the event?
So what I got out of it is, just I've done a little bit of both. I've done a little of the production. I've done a little bit of the creative design. But what I haven't done is done the production and creative design with the whole team all at once. A lot of the projects I've had in the past where it was just me talking to the vendors, maintaining the budget, coming up with the creative design, but having a team behind you to back you up and to help you fulfill your creative sort of vision for each of the scenes just takes it to a whole another level. And not only that, but got to see them work together and work together, come up with their designs, but also, at the same time, when it comes to fabricating something, all of us, we were talking about how we're so used to just making the design, handing it off to some vendor, and then all of a sudden our design's made and installed, where now we're actually having to do the fabrication and installation of most of the things in our scenes. And it's just built a bond amongst our team that, if there's other things in the future that we were, hands down, jump on it and start designing stuff.
That's awesome. Yeah. How about you, Colt?
For me, it's I enjoy before doing a lot with Universal, I did a lot of design build. And so I spent a lot of time designing at Universal, but actually getting to build, that's been enjoyable for me. Actually seeing a project from start to finish and being able to do that. I've had an incredible team. So my team, they don't have a lot of construction background, but like you wouldn't know it. So like they show up and they're like, yeah, we're here to do whatever. And I'm like, you ever spray paint before? And they're like, no. I'm like, all right, we're gonna learn how to spray paint today. And so it's just been it's been a lot of fun, and they've been so willing to learn and try different things. And it's been a new task for me as well. And these are people I've never met before. Actually, one of the interesting things, a lot of us before the pandemic, we knew people and we FaceTime with them or Zoom, whatever. This has been a different project because these are people that I met virtually first. And then when I see them, I'm like, is that you? Because they have a mask on now. And so it's kind of reverse of like recognizing someone with a mask now because I've seen them without one. So that's been an interesting thing as we go to the workshop. I see other teams. I'm like, do I know you? I do know you, don't I? And so that's been an interesting thing that I encountered today that I'm like, oh, I didn't realize that was a thing reversed.
We're starting to identify people by their foreheads now.
Yes. I know Patrick now. You smile with your eyes. Yes.
There you go. Exactly. Well, cool. Thanks, guys. Patrick and Andy, are there any questions from the group, from the crowd out there?
Let's see. Not quite yet. So anybody that has any questions, we'd love to hear them. But until then, I have a lot of questions I'd love to ask. So, Melody, what was your role like? I mean, you were kind of the organizer of all the chaos. Like, you're not necessarily listed on a team. What was your role like? And how'd that go down? How was it?
Yeah, so I was the executive producer, and it was really fun. And I'm still in the middle of it, right? So using past tense is weird, but it was my first time, like, you know, producing a whole event by myself. I mean, by myself, of course. I had Alexis was my fearless leader on Curry Ford West Side. But it was a whole new experience for me that I really gravitated to. And, you know, I'm sure I made some mistakes along the way, but this is part of my learning process as well. And I've had these amazing producers that are here with us tonight that have helped me along and been able to direct their certain groups together. So I'm very like, I'm a very organized person, and I like charts and graphs, and I've always been very much that kind of person, and kind of project managery, but on a design side. So it was very fulfilling for me to do this producing project, and I hope to get to do more of it in the future.
That's great. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of hurts or cats to herd along the way, and it's all volunteer professionals. You know, you have to be respectful of people's time and all that, and their commitment, and people not be available. I'm sure you had people that were kind of committed and they probably couldn't, and they had fluctuations and things like that.
Yeah,
that was a challenge.
Definitely. Yeah, that was I think that was the #1 challenge on the whole project, is trying to be respectful of everyone's time, but get something done. And even through this fabrication process, like having a sort of loosey-goosey schedule of when we need things done, and then people dropping out, or, you know, they get sick, or the dog needs to go to the vet and they can't make it, all sorts of things, and that's been a challenge. But I am really blown away by the amount of commitment that our team members have had to getting all of this done. And they're doing a great job, all on time, $1,500 a group. I mean, you can't talk about more of being on budget than that. I mean, it's fantastic. Everybody's professional.
And some of our team members got jobs. Like, we have a couple on like, oh, I got a new job. We're like, yay. And now we're losing you. Shoot. Day off. Oh, and that's been a challenge, but you can't go, oh, dang. It's like, no, good. You're working.
Yeah. That's right. Go work.
We've had a couple that have got new jobs. And so we're thrilled for them. But now we're like, okay, now we have to innovate again.
Yeah. I will say that as we're building TETV right now, we are being very careful to have a lot of people involved that have their own 5-hour commitment or so that if one person leaves, it's not the end of the world and they don't feel bad about it, all that kind of stuff. Because we have people that are getting jobs and things like that. And I totally get that. I want to ask the real question that's usually hard to get an answer out of, but maybe we're honest in the trust tree in the nest here was, did you have to make a pretty big pivot where you thought, all right, this is going to go just like this, it's going to be fine. And then as you kind of got all these humans together over Zooms and during COVID-19 and all that, you said, okay, that did not work at all, and we had to make a shift of some kind.
Guys, I don't think we had any like major issues. It all went pretty smoothly in my opinion, but did you guys have any major pivots? I think our major pivot moments were always like the loss of a team member for whatever reason. And that was always like, oh God, okay, now we have to find someone else or figure out who else on these teams can fill that hole. I think that was our biggest challenge, but what do you guys think?
I mean, for team 1 with Cosmic Christmas Crash, we had one location that was our original location, but Alexis was like, just hang in there. This may or may not work. And so we designed based on one location, and then, then that one fell through. So we had to move across the street to a second location, but you kind of gave us enough leeway to go, okay, let's make it generic enough, to where we're not committed to an actual structure. And so then when we shifted to the other location, it was like, okay, it's going to go here. So that was a bit of a pivot, I guess, getting to a different sponsor basically to host that location for us.
Gotcha. And so what was that sponsorship like? So we mentioned that you have different places and facades and storefronts. What was their input and how'd that kind of work? And maybe Alexis, you might be able to touch on that, or anybody really.
Okay, so small businesses were super excited about this project. One of the difficulties though is, and I think it shows the strength of this team, is they were creating something in a space that wasn't meant to have that thing, right? And so you're taking a few empty parking spots, or you're taking the wall on the side of the building. And so trying to find a space that was safer than other spaces, wasn't interrupting business parking tremendously, wasn't a hindrance to the small business, but still promoted the event, wasn't behind the building, right? Still was out on the street side. It was a bit of a challenge to go around and try that all out. But then you also have to think a lot of these spaces, they don't have electrical or Wi-Fi or like all the things that designers are used to having to create a scene that is fully immersive. And so it has been an interesting challenge to, figure out how are we going to get electrical over here? Is there, an outlet behind the wall, or can we plug into the sign? Because once we found spaces that were the most conducive, we had to try to make them actually work at all hours. So whether that be, lighting the set, or having a Christmas tree that could get plugged in. And so the businesses were the majority of them were really on board and wanted to have this set, because that brings traffic to their business and it brings people into the area. And so, and we had some businesses that were like, we would really love it here, but the space was either right in where there would be a lot of road traffic, or it wouldn't be as safe, or it was, not supportive of actually building a set. And so we've actually had really good luck. Our businesses are incredible. The business owners are incredible. We have not had any issues with the property owners, and they're all very excited to have us on board. We actually, we did a project a little while ago that was like a pallet pop-up park. We built a labyrinth with over 150 pallets, brought people out. The people were painting pallets. They were socially distanced. And I had on this property, the property owner was like, I did not think it was going to be this cool. And so when we were starting Picture Perfect Holidays, it was July. And my palette project was in October, like September, October. And I was like, man, your space would be perfect for this other project I'm also working on. And he was like, let's see how this palette project goes first. And I completely understand, because he's trusting me with his lot. But when, we had already found our locations and we found out that, hey, we might have a projection mapping, he was all on board. And he was like, yeah, this is great. I love it. Let's do it. And so super grateful to all of the property owners and the business owners that are letting us use their space, but it's also a benefit to them.
Yeah. Speaking of projection mapping, we got a great donation of equipment from Luxedo up north. And they basically were like, hey, do you guys want to try out our new equipment? We need someone to test it out. And we thought you guys could use it. So we said, yes. And we had an amazing volunteer, Juan Santizo, and he's putting together our animations for us on that. So we're gonna have a beautiful projection mapped building also as part of our event. So as you can see, it's been like a very scrappy, what can we really pull out of the community? This is a true community effort, and it's really cool.
No, absolutely. Andy, do you have a question?
I do. I have a question about the piano. On the old piano, I assume was a real piano. Is your piano a real piano?
Yes, it is a real piano. Yes.
And where'd you get it?
You can get a free piano on Facebook Marketplace anywhere. We could take our pick. I was like, there are so many free pianos out there. Just please come pick it up from our house. And so, yeah, we picked it.
That's like hot tubs in Los Angeles. You never have to buy a hot tub. People are giving them away.
What? Okay, yeah. I didn't know that. Okay, the more you know.
Well, that's really cool. So people can play it, and they can walk up to the scene and actually play Christmas carols if they wanted to on the piano.
Yeah, we'll have some Christmas carols coming from the piano itself. and then Justin, they're gonna try to decorate it throughout the year. So we're gonna leave it up there and see how long it lasts, and maybe it'll make it till next Christmas. But
that's so cool. That's really cool.
So we'd love it if you somebody could just like walk us through the guest experience. So I know that we put the website out there for people to check out right here, but it's already it's in the comment feed for those that are watching live. How much time should people reserve? What time should they be going to? What is the length of the event? What are the COVID practices you have in place? All that kind of operation stuff that people will want to know who want to go check it out.
Melody, are we good to? Okay. So, 12th, the 12th, we're actually doing like a bit of a media walk. We're inviting some of the local community. We're trying to keep things a little bit more limited, but again, because it's over. Am I okay? Oh, okay. Sorry. Because it's over a half-mile area, we're not too concerned about large crowds. We do have hand sanitizer stations at every location. On the 12th, we're providing little maps that have CDC guidelines on it. So it's just a nice little reminder. Parking is going to be closer to the Malikaliki Maka location. And then people can kind of make their way around. And on the 12th, we're also going to have a COVID safe Santa experience, which we're actually really excited about. He makes you believe. He's awesome. Rides in on his, candy red Harley. He's just a cool guy. So we're doing that. And then we're encouraging the designers, if they'd like to be out there on the 12th from 3 to 5 to answer questions. We're going to have our board members there answering some questions as well to the general public, but we've made a concerted effort to invite local media and social media influencers. So we're getting some really positive feedback on that. And then on the 19th, we're having another socially distanced event where you can listen to caroling and get some hot chocolate and have a Santa experience again. But this event is going to be, these sets are available all the time. The whole concept was really that if it's busy in one space, you can walk over or drive over to another space and take a picture and then come back afterwards. And so the whole idea was that you didn't have to be crowded around people to still get the holiday spirit.
Mm-hmm. And there's about a 2 to 3 minute walk in between each photo op. So they're all very close to each other. But in terms of guest experience, it's all about taking pictures with your family and friends. So you roll up and you find your perfect picture spot in the scene, get your shots, and they're all going to be very well lit. We've got like nice background music at each scene that's all themed. So, and then you go to the next spot, and hopefully in between your walk, between the photo sets, you're going to hopefully visit some local businesses as well. There's plenty of things to do in that area. So it's going to be a nice, fun little outing for your groups of families and friends. Oh, you're muted.
You think it never changes. It's always the same stuff. So Rachel has a question. We'd love to throw Rachel.
Yeah.
What say you?
I especially hearing so much about Picture Perfect holidays. I'm a project of this scale. I'd love to know, maybe for each of you, what do you know now that you would have known before?
I'm sorry, you broke up. I couldn't hear you.
Sorry. What do you know now that you wish you would have known before?
I didn't understand.
Sorry. I'll say it. What do you know now that you wish you would have known before?
Gosh. Guys, you have something? Let me think. I don't know. I think from my perspective, I feel like we got a lot of interest once we got going and started posting on social media, and like all these other businesses wanted to be involved. And I think if I were to do it over again, I might reach out to certain businesses beforehand, or like, you know, have a longer timeline for that, because there's been a lot of interest and like not enough time to figure it all out. So yeah, I think I would start kind of a sponsorship and donation process a little earlier next time. How about you guys? Anything?
They knew everything before they got into it, and nothing. There were no challenges at all with the project.
For me, it would be the capabilities of our teams. You know, if I would have known the capabilities that both my teams had and the amount of things they could do, I think I would have gone bigger with my sets and pieces, knowing that they are able to handle that.
Mm-hmm. But you know, one thing, sorry, Ben, I see you're about to talk. One thing I wanted to say about that is that I kind of liked that we didn't know everyone's capabilities going into the project, because I think each individual was able to really explore their own, you know, skill set and interest levels as they wanted to. And I think if we had tried to really put them in a position and keep them there, it would have been a different project. Like I love that everyone was moving and pushing themselves in ways that they wanted to. And I thought that was really cool. Like Colt, I had no idea you had such reindeer making skills. Like, I'm sorry, Ben, were you about to say something earlier?
I was just saying I want to spend more time in the warehouse with Xavier and Colt's team, because the cool stuff you brought in, you know, I didn't see it until it was halfway done. And Colt, those things, those decorations you made, I was like, out of plastic paper. And I'm going, how do I do that? How do I do that? Oh my gosh. So I would have definitely liked more time in the warehouse to kind of see everybody working on their projects, because that was very inspirational to maybe to help solve problems that I was trying to solve. And so, because I've been really inspired by that warehouse moment. It's been a lot of fun. Oh, good.
I'll send you the YouTube link. If the challenge for our team was, I mean, a lot of us have experience maybe in theater or other things like that, was making everything weatherproof and maybe theft or something like that as well. But like today it rained, so it's, you know, I wish I would have known it was going to rain today.
I hope your mountains are okay.
They're fine. They're fine. But it's just, you know, trying to make everything weatherproof. So like the snowflakes for the video that I'm going to send you, it's about paper ones. I had to find a material that was large enough and affordable. And that was my team spent probably almost 3 hours looking for something over the course of, you know, the time, just trying to find a material that was affordable. And then, it's just trying to find alternatives to everything. So weather.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say also just about like a lot of our paint was donated, and we're like, well, it's interior paint, so you can't use it outdoors. I'm like, well, really? Huh? So we took a bunch of interior paint, we put it on swatches, and we put it outdoors, and we had a nice hurricane come through. We're like, let's see what happens. The paint was fine after the hurricane blew through. It was a small hurricane, tropical storm. And so we were like, oh, we can use interior paint outside for 2 weeks. Sure, go. Free, run.
Oh, that's great. So, okay, one final question from the audience. Will Santa make an appearance? You mentioned the dates on that.
Dad. That's my dad.
Dad.
Santa is 100% making an appearance. And it's a very cool one, very interactive. He is very aware of the restrictions of COVID, but he is still making sure to bring joy to Curry Ford West. And so he will be at the Justin Bach Knight State Farm location I actually spoke with, or I've had a lot of communication with Santa, and he is just so joyous because, you know, he usually gets to visit a lot of children at this time of the year. And he's not getting to as much right now because people are not taking the proper precautions to create a set that would be conducive to a 6-foot distance. And so Santa's very excited to join us. And so am I.
That's great. Well, thanks you all for joining the show. We appreciate you coming out. I have a couple other little announcements. CJ, you can start calling everybody off though. Once again, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, everybody. It was so great.
Thanks, Ed.
So speaking of Santa Claus, I'm not, Santa Claus does have the ability to be in a couple of places at once. We know that. Basically, next week, we're going to be talking with the Mall of America. They had a whole Santa Claus experience that they created. And then due to ever-changing COVID-19 restrictions, they had to adapt it. So we have Jill Renslow, who's one of the top executives at the mall. That's coming out. And then also Chris Grapp, who's head of storytelling. And then Gary from Hotop to talk about how they basically on a very quick little switch, they had to adjust what they were doing. So join us next Monday at 4 o'clock Pacific, 7 o'clock Eastern. That's going to be a really good show. So do that. And of course, folks, sign up for our newsletter, sign up for our website. For those of you that may be watching for the first time, we thank you for watching our show. We've started a whole network here. And like we were talking about earlier, Melody is a part of it. We have all sorts of shows in the pipeline. And so to close the show, we want to just go ahead and show you what we have in store. Andy, anything to add before we throw to the video?
No, that was great. I had so many questions and they all got answered, and I'm so excited to see pictures for it.
All right, we'll see you next week, everybody. Enjoy Roll Tape CJ.
Oh.
I think CJ was wanting to watch me dance. I was just dancing. Hey everybody, I'm Patrick Kling.
And I'm Andy Garfield. And welcome to TETV, Themed Experience Television.
We're building off the success of our already popular shows, and we're launching an entire network. We have 10,000 downloads and several shows in the work for 2021.
And here's a sneak peek of those shows and the people that are making them.
Hey y'all, my name is Kelly Bailey. I'm a graphic designer. I'm a host for So You're About to Graduate College. I'm also a producer for Unsung Heroes, coming soon on TETV. Can't wait to see y'all over there.
Hey everyone, my name is Kyle Branch. I'm a graphic designer currently based in Los Angeles, and I will be the producer for So You're About to Graduate College. It's a great show that's been online for a bit now, but now it's going to be part of TETV, and I'm so excited for y'all to continue to tune in and see all the great stuff that's in store.
Hello, I'm CJ Gohl, a mechanical engineer and project manager located in Los Angeles, California. I'm so excited to be producing the untitled themed entertainment design show every week on TETV. Stay tuned for the exciting shows we have in store for you.
Oh, didn't see you there. My name is Anna Krause, and I am a storyteller, creative copywriter, and escape room wizard, if I do say so myself. I am so stoked to be producing the new Cynthia and Wendy show, coming soon to TETV. There is so much excitement in store, so don't touch that dial.
Hi everyone, my name is Emily Lee, and I am so excited to get started at TETV. I will be producing the Harriet Bee's Daughters show, as well as working with marketing strategy for the team, and I cannot wait to show you what we have in store.
Hey, it's Andy and Patrick again. We're the hosts of the Untitled Themed Entertainment Design Show right here on TETV.
Come check us out every Monday night, covering the latest in themed entertainment and all sorts of fun topics.
Hi, I'm Summer Martin, and when I am not hard at work, I like to enjoy binge watching television shows such as The Office. Speaking of television shows, here at TETV, we are creating some amazing work we're so excited to share with you. So stay tuned.
I'm Melody Matheny, founder of Slice Creative Network. I'm very excited about hosting a new TV show on TETV, which is going to highlight all of the amazing, creative, freelance talent we have in the theme park industry. I hope you'll join us.
Hi, I'm Rachel Nakamura. I'm a product manager and producer from Los Angeles, California, and I'm excited to be producing Slice Creative Network's upcoming TETV show. Looking forward to showcasing talented freelancers.
I'm Cynthia Sharp, and I'm super excited to be co-hosting a new show on Themed Experience TV with Wendy Hyman Nunes, where we will talk with a rotating slate of amazing guest speakers about the winding paths that their careers have taken and have not taken, and the challenges that they've faced and continue to face, all with an attitude of support, candor, and rigorous honesty. I hope you'll join us.
Hi, I'm Cynthia Vergon, creative writer, translator, and voiceover artist. I'm so excited to be hosting Unsung Heroes, coming soon to TETV. Make the world a better place. Go hug a hero.
Hey everyone, I'm Chris Wilrich, your friendly neighbourhood AV guy. Come join us for our show Unsung Heroes, coming soon to TETV. Get your masks and capes ready.
Man, what a bunch of great shows and even better people. I'm so excited to share with the world what we've been working on in the last few months.
Me too, Andy. You know what, folks? We need your help. Go ahead and like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, sign up for our newsletter, and don't forget to subscribe to us on YouTube. And we'll see you in 2021.
Stay tuned.